wanted to make a point. I see Friday night. Some material. Okay.
All right. Yeah, and also a letter. Okay, take out the letter and leave our three addresses. Justice Bello, Learner Sick, the law states final address and not final address. Final address and not final address, you should have responded to it together. Justice Amani, so you are saying the letter can go. San Uche, yes, my lord. That one is just an explanation, but the three others must stay. It is only right that we address them each finally. Justice Amani, okay, I will allow it because this matter is critical and the whole nation is attentive. And I don't want people to leave here and start saying another thing because when we leave here now, Sarah goes ahead and say, it's like Justice Amani is on Twitter. Oh. Who are the young ones he's referring to? Sad. She goes ahead and says, Saddam, it's like the Sister Mani came to violence space. So, young ones, where are you guys? So, you people are scaring the judges. All right. So that's more like where Sarah stops on her update. But it's a funny, it's a funny, it's a funny. Please indicate. Okay, I'll read the comments. I don't know if people are having issues coming on the space. Let me be very sure, guys. I think I keep seeing people dropping. Anyway, but I think that further establishes the fact to understand.
What PDP did is that they went to go and write something again and brought today or something because the defendants or the respondents, they had to have a go first. So, and then you, the petitioner, because you, the petitioner, had done the court thing, and then you had the longer period in the court, and then they responded after a while. Then they have to have a go first with the written address, and then you respond to the written address, and they will do a comeback after 5 days. So I'm thinking Uche went to go and do another touch up on his, because the way they were talking, it seems he was a naughty boy. Um, I think he went to go and do another. As we found out. So I don't know why Chief Uche, who has been, I mean, he's been a PDP lawyer since Adam was a boy.
Yeah, but
So,
I don't think that's actually the case. I think what they're outrightly saying, because yeah, it says so if you have 10 respondents, you will file 10 final addresses, no final replies. And it goes ahead and say I will file addresses to all of them because they filed on different dates and on different issues. So I have to address them accordingly. So it's talking about addresses.
but that's what we did as well. We addressed.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I want to see
Yeah,
what later and see what
because
exactly they were trying to
he
do.
talked about withdrawing a letter,
Yeah,
and
yeah. I think he added a letter to probably maybe like a cover letter to explain whatever I was submitting.
yeah,
But
but
since they were
you know how,
saying that he said that was not necessary. So
yeah, you know how they are. Maybe he tried to sneak in a few more. He tried to sneak in or go over. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I'm not too keen on PDP, to be honest. I think they should all just close shop, and the handful of people there who are redeemable, can. Although I saw a billboard, I think it was in Edo, where they said they are not welcome. Oh, oh, yeah.
in that 40 pages. To address all 3 respondents who filed their
No, I think that's I can use some of this language because I'm not a lawyer.
Makes no sense. It makes no sense. Address. No opportunity to reply to what's happening in the country. And I'm happy that even PDP had their take in court before LP. It's good that PDP had the chance to challenge them first before we go in. See, these guys are showing signs
for everyone, depending where you're hearing us from. Concerning the PDP issue, those people are criminals. They just, when they wrote, they have submitted their fence, and they went back again. You see what they this is what we need to any way they want it, the way they want is what we need to any way they want it, the way they want it so much. It's so I just love that thing. They did well, and I feel that our own players should do the same. Anything the way they want it, will give it to them. We'll give it to them. If judges cannot will allow
Peter Obi has been returned as a president of the republic and will start moving the country forward. You stop all this Niger madness.
The judiciary doesn't want to burn Nigeria down. To do there, and I think to do there, and I think this is the they are less human. I mean, even the appeal court. So I really hope that doesn't even make sense. I think people should go and I'll read it. A lot of time today, as many times I can. A lot of time today, as many times I can. First of all, I didn't even know why if you go through this part of the act, you can't even substantially explain why LP was the first to, why they were the first and LP responded, but that's not even a big problem. That's totally fine. Right? Then it goes on and say, where the other party calls evidence, it shall have within 10 days after the close of the evidence file to file an address. Okay, this is why they did that. Then it goes further to say, upon being served the order, and this is where I want to focus on, and this is sub 12. Upon being served the other parties written that was spread here is not plural. So it's not 7 days file is written address. So which means what this place was envisaging is that one respondent will file one written address, and as soon as you receive it, you have 7 days to reply to that, to file your own written days to reply to that, to file your own written address. So do it before now. People are reading and understanding like someone said the other day. These things are written in English, it's not in Latin, so nobody should come and say being served the other parties written address. He could have just said upon being served the like the other party add IES and just say okay. You're supposed to go next.
Yeah. Shegun Ofyong, how are you?
Good afternoon, and well meaning the pain people are going through. I'm here to also just get enlightened about this Niger war that they are bearing. The first thing I wanted to even ask is, do they need to go through the National Assembly, or someone can just sit down in this office and just decide, oh, a country is going to war without any input from the people, without any, collective input from everybody saying, oh, Are these people that we are going to say 100 million people? Overstretched in the east, in the north. They are on the street protesting, happy. What will be the justification? You just cause hatred. You just cause hatred in this region that will lead into something that you will not be able to manage. And I just want, like I said, the question is, I don't know, can these people take this decision on their own without any input from the people? Thank you. If anybody have information, please kindly help. Thank you.
Honest answer, I don't know the position of the Nigerian Constitution on for as national security. Then he can have that discretion.
Giving someone is 7 days. You're giving. I just wish I could a way to get my. I'm everywhere. They are in Lagos. Is in some military force to gain democracy back. It's not fair. People's life is at stake. Sorry for my outburst. Sorry. Thank you.
No, that's fine. I understand how you feel. You're even going too far. You're even going too far. You're going to a country where the people are happy to go and enforce whatever it is you think you are going to enforce for them. So it's just very absurd. It's this APC government all over the place. And if you look at a place like Mali and all those guys say they intervened, and Burkina, to deal with the terrorism which the civilians were allowing to fester. Maybe it was the same as Nigeria, where because of corruption, the people in power, they will be voting for their friends to go there and stuff like that, and they'll be making from donor agencies. And they said that was the reason they intervened. So you all, and you are going to, because it gives you like a just because it gives him the opportunity him up as a leader of thought. So that's what they are doing with this gentleman. And we know
Well, Nigeria, good afternoon, and every other person on the space. I hope we are doing fine today and keeping alive in good hope. I'm spacing from Ibadan, Southwest Nigeria, and I would like I will just express one or two concerns about this issue of Niger before coming to the election matter. Number one, Burkina Faso and Mali. The recent thing I read from them is this issue of they are still on the defense. If these people do this, we will support. My concern right now is that what if these people they switch into the offensive mode, because everything are aligning and anything can happen. We just hope that things will be under control. That said, I will switch to election issue. I think it's a very good time to appreciate every single person that have played a role in sustaining this pressure. I think we need to give ourselves that kudos. It's a big achievement. Also, we read when Joseph Amani was making reference to the young. I'm young, and I'm happy that at least we formed a little of the public opinion that can serve as a watchdog. Albeit we've not gotten what we want, and so I know it's been a marathon since last year. Since last year, sacrifices here and there, sacrifice of time, sacrifice of resources. But this is still just an encouragement to just keep it there, to keep going. My question that I would like to ask is a little bit more of is just to seek what the law says. I have the electoral law. My background is not in law anyway. I'm a dentist, but I've taken interest in law. Now, one of the prayers that our what do you call it now? One of the prayers that our LP councils they prayed is that disqualify BAT. Now, I want to ask, in law and in electoral matter, will those votes, okay, for example, in a state where he had, how will I put down? Okay, when we will, is it that they will just strike his name out, or they will totally remove those number from the vote, so that mathematically, we will be able to get those required numbers? That's one. Two, when the is it Professor Eric, the professor of statistics, he highlighted how that by his data analysis and going through IREV report, how that there was this issue of 18,088 polling units with 2.5 million accredited votes. He also talked about 39,546 polling units with about 5.3 million accredited votes. How that those figures, because it's greater than the margin. So I want to ask, was there any, because I've also taken the thanks to UC Maxwell, the final addresses I've gone through. I was interested in the arithmetics. So is there any other place where they brought this issue out clearly? I just want to seek, the law perspective to these two things. But by and large, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to have associated with everyone I've associated with in this journey, and definitely we still have to sustain the tempo. I mean, to even take it a step further, albeit constructively, so that these guys who have refused to argue the law, they've refused to argue the facts, but they are looking for technicality. They won't see anywhere to hide, because all of these things, they are connected together. And we just have to extract this person and put the best person there. So at this point, I want to use the mic. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Ife. Um, so I think one of your question was, what would they do with the votes? How would they minus the votes? Is that what you asked?
Yes, yes, yes.
So the truth is that when it comes to the numbers, it's really left to the courts to know how they would handle all that. Of course, if they are taking a vote from somebody, if they are taking a vote to somebody, they have to take it away from somebody else. So that there will be, of course, plus and minus. But that, like I usually say, that's like a long, that's like a long reach, because that would first mean that they've substantiated the election to start with. If you look at LP's case generally, I'm sure you read it, you discover that the ground talking about numbers is not relating to who won the election, it's relating to INEC's non-compliance. And if you are talking about if there was a place they broke down or talked about numbers, I think I've said it so many times here that if you read the written address, you discover that they made reference to the document that the prof submitted as the Professor Eric, like you mentioned. So, of course, they couldn't have argued number even in 40 pages. So that's what it's really like. But I think I just realized that I didn't start from where the update started from Sarah. Sarah started from, apparently Jandor is in court. Sarah said Jandor walked in, now looking so fresh. You people did not vote him in Lagos. Now, instead of using his money to give you people breath of fresh air, he has started using the money to buy Jenny's Glow. Lagosians can go and get their bread from Tinubu's Sunishege, because it be like, say, he not concern Jandor again. He's looking like person will not get, problem. He did not even go to court. All right, Jandor did not go to court. That's true. All right, San Olani Pekun and Tinubu will fight outside this court. Olani Pekun said there's no way PDP can win. They did not even bring any figure or numbers to support their claim. Even their witnesses could not say the figures they scored in their unit, which suggest outright dismissal of the case. I can't even see Atiku's eye anymore. He's riled. Like Atiku is angry. All right. So that was the initial update before that entire issue that happened, and because it's not PDP update, Sarah is updating it scattered. So, but I think the most recent ones, which is what I wanted to read, is she said, "While in court, this PDP's lawyer San Uche deserves cold Guinness stout. His wife must have rubbed his head well today." San Uche, so this is what San Uche said, paraphrased anyways. "My learned colleagues on the other side said the criminal offense is timely. And INEC, the time has passed. Then the offense has passed." Oh, INEC said the time has passed. The that the offense has passed. He said it here that the Constitution forgives. Well, my lord, I am here to say that time does not run against crime. The whole courtroom shouts yes. Justice Samani goes ahead and says, "Uche, we should not mislead the public. This thing is coming from the mouth of a senior advocate. Senior advocate nonsense. Some people already have their headline, and that's not right. It is a constitutional issue. It's written in the Constitution. So it's not any time does not run against crime. It's just the Constitution. Let's not mislead the public. The Constitution states how long any crime can stand. Everyone is looking at Justice Samani like it's like Abado is under your wig." San Uche, well, my lord, at least he admitted that the second respondent committed the crime. He said there's forgiveness in the Constitution. And even when there's forgiveness, let's not forget that there's also a punishment for sin. The whole courtroom is about to start clapping and giving a round of applause to San Uche. San Uche, yes, there's punishment for sin. Justice Amani, Uche, you are a Christian. Are you not a Christian? Christians forgive. And even Jesus said, go and sin no more. San Uche, that was Jesus. Oh. Me, I'm not Jesus. The whole court is laughing. San Uche goes ahead. Then on precedence, my lord, my learned colleague said that there is no precedence for annulling presidential election in Nigeria. Sanonali Pekuna stands up angrily. I take objection to that. Don't misquote me. I am on my feet. Now, Uche, so sit down. San Uche, but I am still talking, and you are using out of my time. Sarah says, Wahala. Goes ahead, Sanolani Peku. I am on my feet. I object to that. I allowed you talk and kept my cool since, even when you are mentioning things that is not in your written address. I kept my cool. I didn't talk. Please, don't make me talk. I object to that statement you are making now. Don't do that. San Uche, well, I heard you clearly, and we all did. You said precedence does not exist in annulment of presidential election. My lord, if I may go on, that precedence that they said has never happened can be created today and be done in this case. The whole courtroom is shouting, yes. Justice Samani interrupts with a smile on his face. But judgment is not today now. The whole courtroom is almost on the floor with laughter. San Uche, my lord, as I end this case, let that precedent be today. Heaven will not fall. The whole courtroom wants to clap. Wow, amazing. PDP, you guys have tried today. This is Sarah saying, PDP, you guys have tried today. I'm proud of you. Justice Samani. So we will inform you guys on the date of the judgment. It was great listening to you all. Thank you for coming. Their case has now ended. Up next, Labour Party versus Peter Obi's case by 2 p.m. All right, so that's the end of PDP's case. I'm glad that I thought they wouldn't be allowed to say anything, but I'm glad that Sanucci was able to squeeze some of these things in, even if may not be written, but to squeeze it into their conscience. So underground, I think I'll lead back to Uncle Akadi. I can see real level best here.
Yeah, real level best. How are you, sir? Real level best.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you're speaking. I'm coming. Right time court, people just arrived. That is, yeah, gave this this person is here. Chimamanda is also in court for the first time. It's going to be, a full house today in court. PDP have just finished their case. I hadn't time to actually give you, and that's why I actually came to actually say what transpired in PDP case, but I can't really do that now. But you can see everywhere, just our emotion as PO, the Excellency just said, Ahmed Dati is here, and Chimamanda for the first time is actually in court here. Now, you can't believe what is happening here. The whole thing is just set in motion. Our lawyers are coming in, and everything is being set to actually, continue today's proceeding. But the highlight of today's proceeding is that Chimamanda, just arrived the court. So I'll be sending pictures, as updates, and so that you guys can retweet. But I can't really say much now. But I just want to announce that PO is in court, Ahmed that is in court, and almost all the party officials are here right about now, and Chimamanda is also in court. So I'll be sending you her pictures, looking beautiful, looking very elegant, dressed in and a very elegant dress. But I will send you that picture now so that you can actually follow up what is happening. But it's I think today's court is going to be an interesting one, because a lot of interesting arguments is going to be made in this court today, given the fact that PDP has made their case. There was an argument that issued as regards the way PDP actually, replied, and the justices made the case that, the reply was supposed to be one, and since PDP had replied one, it should suffice for that. And PDP made the argument that no, if this case, if there are 3 parties or 4 parties to this thing, and all of them did independent, responses, that they also have to respond, to those cases independent. But PDP had already made one, reply that they holistically, replied to all the 4 cases, and now did individually. I think that was actually the difference with what Labour Party did. I think that is what Labour Party did, because what Labour Party did was to address the individual cases. So when INEC replied, they had to reply INEC independently and reply to. So we are not going to have that argument that PDP had with the justices as to how many replies they have to make and address. But I have to run out from this place so that I can actually take pictures and send more updates. But thank you for what you're doing, and all the people that is giving analysis there. Keep it coming, keep it going, keep our people updated. We in the court, we will do our best to make sure, you understand, we'll give you, live feed from here. That is all I have to say now. So for everybody on this platform, I'm saying thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. Women in Nigeria, you're doing a very good work. I can see Ankadede, I can see all of you here. I can't call names here because I'm actually in court as I report this thing loud. Sweet and Jail, I can see you. I can't miss to call your name, and every other person that is here. So thank you and God bless you. I'll be sending you pictures. Let me just take pictures of Chimamanda and send it to you guys. You guys will love it. Thank you so much. I rest my case.
Real ever best. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I think that's what makes this place very exciting. The fact that we have boots on the ground, and our people can bring us report from the field, and make us all feel a part of it. And to think that these are not career journalists and commentators, but they do a good job. I mean, I'll have Real Ever Best any day, than Ruben Abati or the other guy in, the chaps in TVC. So this is very good, Real Ever Best. And he paints a picture. Chimamanda, of course, we all know. As it was going on there, I started thinking, you better watch what you're saying, because Sweet Angel is in the house as well. So anyway, that is very, very good. So PO is in there, and also Deti Baba Ahmed is also there. And Chimamanda is making a cameo today as well. Because like we said, this has gripped the attention of the whole world, and including those of us. There was something I took away from her letter to Biden when she was interviewed by Arise. She said that in the years to come, history will ask what each of us said at the time when this thing was happening. So it doesn't really matter what anybody wants to do, but we are placing ourselves on record that we will not accept, for the will of the Nigerian people to be subverted by a criminal band. I mean, you look at the record of this guy. it's just forgery all over the place. This is someone, even during the campaign season, you just take up somebody else's photograph and say it's yours. You make yourself 30 bishops because you wanted to show some Christian representation of what you're doing. So it's just this sort of character, you just think everything is just going to be like that, for the whenever, however long he stays there. So I'm just hoping to God that the judges stop clowning and stop pretending that they are doing young people a favor or whatever it is, but that they will actually dispense justice, and uphold the will of the Nigerian people, because people paid flight tickets to go back, and they were doing that because they wanted to take part in the process of rebuilding this country. We're not saying everything will be cured once Bio goes in, but it gives us an opportunity to recalibrate. He's a selfless person, and his team are selfless. All these other guys, everything they'll be doing will just be around their convenience. And, they will be ruling from a place of insecurity. So appointments and things, everything is just like the usual old transaction. And that's what we want to put a stop to. On that note, let me, well-meaning, just give me a signal when you want to come in. But Mr. Zigwai,
Thank you so much, Uncle Akaji. I hope you can hear me.
Loud and clear, loud and clear.
Thank you so much. I noticed that, and by the way, great job, everyone. It's just refreshing to have you guys on every day and doing just fantastic job and reporting on what's happening, with the case in court. I noticed, before I go into the main issue, I noticed that the 2 minutes or so, 2 or 3 minutes that Will Everbest spoke, he mentioned Chimamanda about 7 or 8 times and Sweet Angel just once. Ça va chauffer, as the French will say, ça va chauffer à la maison ce soir. Real Everbest, good luck. Now, to go to the point on the matter with Niger, you see, this is a masterclass for everyone watching, masterclass on the consequences of unguarded pronouncements by a leader. We had the first unguarded pronouncement by Tinubu when he said subsidy is gone. I mean, you have to know when your words carry weight, even before you do something. I mean, as a leader, a president, you say something and stock markets will just crash, or you either have a bull market or you have, I don't know whether this guy, you just wanted to be called president. But you know the implications of what it means to be the president of a country. Second pronouncement, we won't allow coups in West Africa anymore. And then there is a coup and you want to flex. You decide that you are going to flex and you start giving ultimatums and threatening that you will go to war. Can you imagine? You will send forces into a sovereign country because you don't know the implications of what you say and how heavy those words are. Who knows what the third pronouncement, whether it's going to bring the rest of Africa, because the first one was Nigeria, the second one, West Africa, because we see, is it Mali and Burkina Faso saying, look, we are not in on this. And I don't think a lot of the other countries will support any move to go into Niger. What will his third pronouncement do? Will it go as far as beyond West Africa? Will it affect all of Africa, for crying out loud? When I say all, I don't mean, of course, all, but I imagine you can imagine what I am saying. We have seen videos coming out of Niger about how the citizens are dancing and celebrating on the streets, happy with the outcome of what has happened, the overthrow of the government. They are Whether good or bad, it is not for us to tell them whether their military will take over or not. It's not for us. If you have good governance, why would the military come and take over power? Majority of them were in support. And this guy comes and makes a pronouncement and says, oh, we will do this if you don't do that. Does Tinubu know that there are thousands of Nigerians living in Niger? Has Tinubu thought about the implications of the utterance? You are the leader of West Africa, because they are seeing you as the leader of ECOWAS. You are the leader of ECOWAS. Now, Burkina Faso and Mali have said we are not in on this. So now everybody in Niger is going to be thinking the rest of West Africa is not in on this. This is a Nigeria thing. What if they turn on Nigerians living in Niger? Has he thought about that for a second? And speaking of unguarded pronouncements of a leader, I hope Yakub Mahmoud will now start to understand the implications of his blunder. Because people do things and they just think about the now, not thinking about tomorrow and the future and what implications what you're doing is going to have going forward. You just think about, oh, let me just satisfy myself now. Yakub Mahmoud, 4 a.m. you were up announcing a fraudulent result. Now we see the implications of that singular action and how it's affecting Nigerians. And now it's gone beyond Nigeria and affected. Just imagine. Now let me tie this to what's happening with the case in court. And I would like to have an answer to this question. What does the Constitution say? Because the way this guy is eager to cause chaos in Nigeria, first of all, he wanted to just destabilize the entire country. That didn't happen. Obedience held their ground, and everybody was saying, all eyes on the judiciary. Nobody's giving them the opportunity to drag in the military and all of that. Now there's an opportunity to take Nigeria to war outside Nigeria. What does the Constitution say about the removal of a sitting president when the country is at war? It does not necessarily have to spell out war, but when we are in such situation, what does the Constitution say about the removal of a sitting president? Because this guy can be selfish like that and self-centered like that. Thank you. I yield the mic.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Zegwai. I really, really enjoyed your presentation. I don't know what the Constitution says, just like I didn't know the other one, but you've given me an assignment now, because that's gonna concentrate my mind for in a short while. So yes, the honest answer is I don't know, but like I said, Tinubu would have been quite happy for Nigeria to shut down, go up in flames, if that will only make him the president, or we don't have to go to court and everybody will listen, because these things are being expressed in English. And that judge trying to bundle things and muddy the water and say constitution this, constitution that, it's just rubbish, really. It's just nonsense. It wouldn't hold any water. You are going to Niger, you've lost like 400 people. Okay, I'll take the average. So they said between 200 and 250 and 500 people in Mango here in Plateau State. And you're going. So the Nigerian soldier wearing Nigerian uniform, what is his motivation? Because I see his vuvuzelas have already started to tee up. Femi Fani-Kayode started writing about the prowess of ECOMOG. But ECOMOG was a different dispensation. We had a military regime here. Is that what he is proposing? And secondly, there were issues in the other country. They were at war. They were at war. So ECOMOG instruction was actually very clear: protect the civilian civilian citizens there. So in this instance, we see the civilians, mounting a guard of honor and applauding their soldiers for coming to their rescue. So their motivation will be to defend their land and their people. So what will be the motivation of the Nigerian soldier that is going because a drug baron wants to take a photograph with Kamala Harris or whatever her name is? And that's the $1 million question, for me. Obidati mandate. Obidati mandate. Obidati mandate going. Obidati mandate gone. Manuel Omo, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Frankly speaking, I have been really concerned about this the development in Niger and the Nigeria's particularly Tinubu's position in it. I just had to do a few check-up of some things, and my check returns that Niger actually has a landmass bigger than Nigeria. And Niger's population is just a little above 10% of Nigeria's population, which means that the inhabitants per square kilometer of Niger is, is very, very small. So Niger, if whatever unrest that may happen in Niger, I mean, the people can always space out, highest, they will just spill into the neighboring northeast and part of northwest, Nigeria. Of course, we can accommodate them. But you see what Tinubu is dragging the Nigerian military and by extension the Nigerian people into. If anything, if the people like has been mentioned here, if Nigerians decide to turn their reason and say, this thing is not West Africa against us, it's Nigeria against us, and they decide to turn against us, there's no country around us that can contain us. There's no country that can contain us. None. You see, Niger has border, because of its vast expanse of land, it has border from that spans much of northwest, northeast, a lot of Sokoto, Kano, Kaduna, Katsina, Jigawa, Yobe, Kebbi, Bauchi, all of that region borders with Niger. And the people in Niger are predominantly Fulanis, Hausa Fulani people. Now, are we going to say, or is Tinubu expecting that, because he has given order to the Nigerian military, that they will turn their arms and suppress, or as it were, oppress the civilian, those Fulani? By the way, a bulk of the Nigerian military are these same Fulani, Hausa Fulani people. These people are not, their allegiance to their tribe and all of that will not allow them do the kind of thing that Tinubu is thinking. That's the truth. And then I just imagine now that a lot of neighboring countries to Niger, like Mali, Chad, Guinea, Burkina Faso, and so on, Sudan, who are under the control of military, now that they are saying, look, we are not going to implement the sanctions of ECOWAS against Niger, and in case of any invasion of Niger, we will arise. We will defend, because, in fact, even Algeria has said so. Algeria has said, look, we will stand to defend our neighboring country, Niger, in case of any invasion. All these things means that the land space, the air space, the waterways of those neighboring countries, they will not be locked to Niger. They will not lock them. They will block them. It means that in case of any of Russia or so that may want to support Niger. I mean, the airspace of all those neighboring places, the waterways of those of Algeria. Algeria opens into the Mediterranean. So they will have access to supply them whatever they want to supply them. This will be Nigeria, as it were, exclusively fighting war against the vast of West Africa and some Western alliances. It will. This is not something. Okay, now on tomorrow. Is it not tomorrow? Tomorrow now. Tomorrow, NLC want to go on strike. Hey, Jesus. Now, the vast of our workers wants to down our tool, so to say, crumble the economy. Our Tinubu wants to go. Now, ECOWAS, who is funding ECOWAS largely, most of, about 70%, if not more, of ECOWAS funding comes from Nigeria. It comes from Nigeria. We, at the point where we are so heavily indebted and so much economic downtime, and we want to go and fund war is not an easy thing now. It's not a cheap something to do. Okay, how long will they sustain this process? Maybe we should go and learn, ask Russia, who is fighting with small listen. They thought it was a small country, but look at how it is. It's something that they thought maybe they could crush it in weeks. It has run into how many months? Running to get into a year. So these are things that whoever Tinubu gives listening ear to must tell Tinubu, look, this thing is not a time to grandstand and look for legitimacy. We know you did not win. We know that you're trying to do this in order so that you will do, like Oklagaji would say, photo ops, and then you get some legitimacy. But I mean, this is the lives of, there are about 33,000 Nigerian refugees in Niger. Their life will be at stake. They will be the first line of attack, if the Nigerians want to attack. So there are serious implications to this whole thing. There are serious implications to this whole thing. So I wish that that seriously the court has to spare us this omen, this very wicked, dangerous omen. The court has to do something to spare Nigeria and the rest of Africa, who were even hoping on I was speaking to a Senegalese. He said that they were looking forward to Peter Obi's emergence so that they themselves can have hope. That means some other African countries were even banking on the Nigerian election, the victory through the polls. So please, the court, this is beyond what we're clamoring for and all of that thing just about us. It has now extended to West Africa and even to beyond. Please, the court has to do justice. We are not even asking them to favor us. The legal team of Peter Obi and Labour Party have made this case easier. Just do justice on merits. Do justice. And everybody, even Agbado people, even Tinubu himself, he will agree. He will accept it because he knows it is justice. Whatever anybody will do, it will be, once justice is done, heaven will not fall. I yield the mic.
Yeah, thank you very much, Umar. Yeah, it's the second complexity in the Niger thing is what's underneath their soil, as usual, because these people still largely see Africa for mineral resources, and they're willing to come and kill us again and take our resource. So between them, Niger and Kazakhstan supply over half the world's uranium. And as I said earlier in this forum, the French are, they are the forefront of using nuclear for electricity and power generation purposes. So much so that they actually do stuff for the United Kingdom. So through their companies, they have some here that work in some of the nuclear sites for the UK. So just imagine what it means for them if like almost 70% of their energy needs is coming from that part of the world. And Russia already, with their proximity to Kazakhstan, come and take that one over. So it's another mega scramble. And of course, Africa will always be squeezed in the middle of these things because we don't have the right leadership. And And that's just what it boils down to. But I'm hoping that the judiciary will put this gentleman out of his misery. He's taken photos already as president. His friends, Asari Dokubo, have taken photos. Ibori have taken photos with him. So I think they can just leave now. They can just live in peace. That would be my, my honest, that would be my honest suggestion to them. I'm just trying to see. Farbank, you've dropped off a few times. How are you doing? Farbank? Okay. Solomon Noja, and then we'll go to Eji Keme, and then we'll come back to Son of God. Solomon Noja?
Yeah, Solomon Jacobo, please. Solomon Jacobo.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yes, I've
Can
just
you
seen
hear
it
me?
now.
Yeah.
I've just
I
seen
beg.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. See, look, this matter na simple matter. This matter, Tinubu himself knows say this matter na simple matter. My number one take be say Nigeria military, the ECOMOG of the Babangida era, not be the ECOMOG of now. Nigeria military is overstretched. Nigeria does not have the wherewithal to engage Niger one-on-one. Everybody knows that. Ultimatum, when you know that you are battling the country is full of crisis from A to Z, crisis everywhere. People are hungry. People are hungry. Just even this morning, one guy came to me and told me, I said, bros, I beg, I get soup. I not get Gary. I beg, help me with money. Can say buy Gary. You know, I was thinking that it was the 419 stuff. I raised 1,500 for him. I gave to him, and I was watching him from afar. I saw that he went to go and buy the Gary. I know you understand me. People are suffering. People are suffering. Tinubu is there giving ultimatum that he want to move the Nigerian military into Niger. Come on, who does that? There's so much crisis. He just wanted to expose the whole. Our country for set. I think that's the only way we can able to pass that message to those judges in the tribunal that look, this the country is. We are determined to take this country back.
Very much, my brother. And, thank you for helping that person with.
Nigeria that is very weak presently. Nigeria is weak. That Babangida time when Nigeria get ECOMOG with other South African countries, then Nigeria was a little bit strong. But now Nigeria is weak. Up oil theft. The youth in the river area that are opening fire on the military, killing them up and down. Then you want to send our military to Niger. Pains. Nigerians are going through pains. Even the Agbado people said they know that Nigeria
run for president. So he was right. Tinubu's speech, was amazing. Budget, you blow it in 1 month. Work, so every other thing around you. And I have said it that, people like come and write that this is amazing. It shows this, it shows that. And that's like over 60 days after you've inflicted and then actually sending direct checks and handouts to people. Say Peterborough to Norwich. So the Excel buses, £10 in the past, it's £2 now, and will remain so until October when they'll review again. It was supposed to close off in June, and I'm talking about England. In multi-dimensional poverty, and just make things 200 times worse. The price of food, travel. Some people is for whatever they were doing, because and will go to pay travel costs for. They're just saying that the judges should have no business continuing with this deceit. And when all is said and done, Mahmoud Yakubu and the people that worked with him, should be made should be brought to book. Ejikeme, you have the floor. Ejikeme. Mechimezia?
In Nigeria, one MMC crew. And a lot of other distinguished members of this wonderful space. One of the speakers who stopped where he was talking about Burkina Faso and Mali, saying that they are not going to be part of any economic sanctions that is placed upon Niger Republic at the moment, but to also add that the neighboring country of Niger Republic towards the north, Algeria, have also given their support to what is happening in Niger Republic right now. You see, that this is another level of politics that is coming out in the region, where nations are trying to get themselves free from Western grip. It's not our business. Nigeria is accept this, no matter how France wants to accept this or not. This is a criminal that should be behind bars. A criminal, Uncle Dakar, a thief that should not have any business with power, with Asorok. So he has no rights whatsoever, no rights to dictate what would happen in another sovereign country. For what is worth, this particular Niger people are happy. The leader of Burkina Faso had a rousing welcome from Russia. It's on the news. The leader of Burkina Faso, the 35-year-old leader of Burkina Faso, had a tremendous crowd welcoming him from Russia. That is on the international scene. Let me now come down to the real situation on ground. And you see, the kind of corn, the will be wherever he is, looking down on what is happening. It is very good, you know. Labour Party comes with a lot of brilliance. Today they have introduced Let us remember, Chimamanda Adichie bombed. It's clear. I have been doing it with my tweets. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has no legitimacy to put Nigerian boots on the ground in the Niger Republic. He has no right to do that. He has no rights to. He has no rights to put taxpayers' funds in Niger Republic. Put taxpayers' funds in Niger Republic. So please, he should stay in Aso Rock and wait for his disqualification and wait anything beyond sending the criminal drug baron Bola Ahmed Tinubu out.
Drug baron. That's like your signal. It's just some of these people. He's go and have his name mentioned.
So whoever the judge the years that think the literal interpretation of what the provision of the Constitution allows. See no reason why there legal adoption. To even to even stand behind military guys, majority predominantly Hausa Fulani. I want to see how he's going to even hit to his instruction Janjaweed insurgency. Up north and all over the country.
for the petitioners. And then APC, with utmost humility, with utmost humility,
I'm actually here, so I was going to read that, but since you read it, I think that's the major update for now.
all right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much. And thanks again, Son of Man. Please look for Son of God. He was right beside you before you made your mission. I don't know what happened to him. If you're up at the speakers and your hand is not raised, we'll have to remove you because there's quite a lot of requests. We can only go by people whose hands are raised. If your hand's not raised, we will then think that you don't. Kene Onyiba, and then Ojile Aigbedi. So yeah, you have the floor now, as Nandi.
Good afternoon, Uncle Akaji, and then good afternoon, Mata. And it's funny when I listen to people like the lead Justice Samani, I will just laugh. And Pels and everybody who have been reporting tell us, the entire house, is that we should just watch out. When the judgment is delivered, Lord, it will be just exactly that APC's point. Just that written address, the way it was written. That's what the person, because, you know, at the end of the day, we will still see the reason why a judge said A or B. By the time we get to that point, when you bring the written address of APC, you will see that any judge that took to the side of the APC and the INEC and whatever, it is just that their written address that the person is going to repeat. And I support, yes, we gathering on the final day of the judgment to occupy the court. But for me, I think where we need that kind of gathering, where all Nigerians will be in court.
From you, there's a feedback
Yeah, I think he's
from your side. I
he's
don't
either
know what's
occupied
going
or
on.
he's having network issues.
Somebody,
Fuga, you
is
go.
someone's mic open or?
Fuga.
And Okumag and Kadede. So everybody, GKM. So I just want to quickly comment on the